This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Roberto, on with every NHL team having played at least one game so far this season. It's time for some way too early observations. And we're going to start with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Through their first two games, they're looking kind of good. And yeah, their wins came from two non-playoff teams from a season ago, but it's less about the result and more about the way they've won these games. And they've had some unreal performances from both of their goalies. But their leading scorer has been none other than 39-year-old Evgeny Malkin. Evgeny's coming off maybe the worst year of his career last year, so I don't think anyone had a hot start for Gino on their bingo card. But you can't argue with the results. And speaking of looking great, how about a guy named Connor, who's fresh off signing a $12 million deal? But not the one that you're thinking about, because we're talking about Kyle Connor of the Winnipeg Jets, who netted a hat trick in the Jets season opener yesterday. And while no one was questioning why Winnipeg extended him, people did have questions about the money. He's been one of the top 10 highest paid players in the NHL for the first time in his career. And there's a lot of pressure that goes with that. But if there was any doubt about whether he belongs, his performance last night silenced it, at least for now. Now, unfortunately for Winnipeg, the hat trick wasn't enough to get them the win. And that's because we saw a playoff hellebug last night. And if the Jets are going to have a repeat regular season of last year, that cannot happen. But if Connor can stay hot and Hellebug gets on track, then watch out for the Jets. And since we've been talking about so many dang Connors, well, just two, let's make it a third, and talk about Connor McDavid, who had a rough season opener after signing that team-friendly deal, as they lost in the shootout to their Alberta rivals, the Calgary Flames. The result was bad enough, because this Flames team does not look like a juggernaut, especially after they got blown out by the Canucks last night. But the bigger issue is that Stuart Skinner continues to struggle in net. Edmonton's lack of stable goaltending has been a topic of conversation for a while now, especially after falling short in the Cup final 2 straight years. And now that McDavid has left money on the table, which gives them the financial flexibility to fix their goaltending, seeing Skinner struggle like this just stings even more. Obviously, he and the Oilers can turn this around, as it's literally just one game. But after Edmonton was feeling so good thanks to their captain's extension, that first game didn't match the level of excitement. But once again, extremely small sample size, literally our smallest ever on the show. The Oilers are going to be fine, just fine. I mean, let's just do another run. Edmonton, this is the third time's the charm. Get there again, you can do it. Time now for one stat to tell the group chat. And this is a really fun one, so here we go. If Joe Flacco beat the Packers Sunday, he would become the first NFL quarterback to beat a team twice in the same season, with different teams since 1962, when Jack Kemp beat the New York Titans, now the Jets, with both the Chargers and the Bills. Don't you love this segment? You got something to talk about, guys. Go forth, share. Also, fun fact, Jack Kemp later became a Republican congressman and was actually a vice presidential nominee in the 1996 election, as he ran with Bob Dole. So now you can turn the conversation about sports into politics, and everyone loves that. It's Friday, which means we're just 2 days away from an unreal slate of NFL football games. So let's go through everything we need to know before betting this weekend. It is Fast Facts powered by FanDuel. Okay, so we have 40 seconds on the clock. My record is 7. I don't think I'll be able to break it, as you know, but we're going to try anyway. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. The Ravens are 1-4 and are 7.5-point dogs Sunday versus the Rams. A loss Sunday would put the Ravens at 1-5 since 1990. Only 3 teams have started 1-5 and made the playoffs: the Chiefs in 2015, Colts in 2018, and Washington in 2020. Jackson Smith in Jigba has 534 receiving yards this season, good for second in the NFL. His line for Sunday is 78.5 receiving yards. JSN has 3 games with 100 or more receiving yards. That's the most in the NFL. He is plus 194 to hit 100 receiving yards Sunday against Jacksonville. The Buccaneers are the first team in the NFL in NFL history with 4 wins in their first 5 games of the season when tied or trailing in the final minute of regulation. 49ers to win the first half and Bucks to win the game pays plus 750 on FanDuel. Jared Goff has won both previous. Okay, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But they're, you know how Chris Hine does it, okay? He puts like 3 facts in 1. They should all be like that, and then I'm hitting 15. And that plus 750 Bucks Niners bet is pretty sweet, eh? Might as well hit that. You can watch all those games and more this Sunday on CTV, TSN, TSN Plus, and the TSN app. At 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, you got the Rams and Ravens and Seahawks and Jags. Then at 4:25 Eastern on CTV, it's an honorable mention for Game of the Week. It's the Niners and Bucks. But then Sunday night, we got the actual Game of the Week as the Lions take on the Chiefs. Time now for the DoorDash WNBA Report. Game 4 of the WNBA Finals goes down tonight in Phoenix. And this is it for the Mercury. They need a win to avoid the sweep. Let's start with the big injury news, as Phoenix will be without Sato Sabally. She's out with a concussion suffered late in Game 3. And that is a big loss for Phoenix, as she's been one of the best players in this series, putting up 21.7 points a game to go with 6 boards. Her out will definitely hurt Phoenix's spacing, and they'll be tough to overcome a great Aces team. But Phoenix did show plenty of fight in Game 3, as they were down by as much as 17, before battling back to tie the game in the final seconds. But you just cannot leave Asia Wilson anytime.
Tied at 88. Gray gets it in. Wilson on the drive. The fade. You bet! You bet! Asia Wilson with .1 to go. Puts the Aces in front by 2.
That almost bounced out, eh? And she was just as cold-blooded when asked about the bucket after the game.
Asia, you're in the huddle. There's 5 seconds left. What does your coach breathe into you in that moment, knowing that the ball's going into you?
Just go get it done. That was it. She just drew up a play, and she said, just do it. She didn't really say much because I already understood the assignment. We just had to continue to just play. We got to play hard. We just got to continue to play hard, and I think you saw that tonight.
Yeah, just go get it done. She's an athlete. So will Asia win her 3rd title in 4 years? And 2nd Finals MVP in 3 years tonight? Well, you can find out on TSN, as Game 4 of the WNBA Finals goes at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. But pregame starts nice and early at 7. Now this is pretty cool because DoorDash is rewriting the traditional sports marketing playbook with Bring It In, a new brand platform that unites the WNBA, NSL, and PWHL. So now throughout the WNBA Finals, DoorDash is offering up to 30% off to celebrate women's hoops. Go to DoorDash.com for more info. This is just so cool that all of these leagues are together and that we get to benefit from it because you know we're watching from home and I need food. Time now for the CFL Preview, powered by FanDuel. And we've got one game in the CFL tonight. And it features my Riders, so why would you need any more? Sasky comes into this one against the Argos as big favorites, laying 10.5, with a total set at 49.5. And with a Sasky win tonight, or a Stamps loss, the Riders would clinch the division and the right to host the West Final at Mosaic Stadium. And look, you guys know how I feel about Regina, but you know how I feel about the Rough Riders, so you win some, you lose some. I would definitely go to the West Final if they make it. Look, I'm already repping Saskatchewan today, friends, okay? I don't even know I was doing the segment. So while we like a win, we're actually not comfortable laying that many points. But what we do like is Trevor Harris over passing yards. Yes, it's a high number, but have you seen what this guy's been doing over the last 2 weeks? He's averaging 346 passing yards a game in that stretch. You can watch the Argos and Riders tonight on TSN at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. That's it for today. We'll see you back here Monday. Have an amazing weekend.